Bad timing,
I missed it.
Bad
She tried.
timing.
She did try.
I did try.
Oh, I'm gonna hit
Sing,
it.
sing
Send my
along with
tweet out.
ATGN was a bust.
Send my tweet out. The Naki takeover has
There
commenced.
he is.
I have taken over. Isn't that scary? And I didn't break the internet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I haven't broken the internet yet, and that's all that matters. And I don't have any bumps or anything, so because I don't have a mixer. I'm not fancy like our producer / everything, Chris. So we just kind of roll with it for me.
We're going pantsless and bumpsless.
Pantsless and bumpsless. Although I'm currently wearing pants because it's really cold in here.
What? That is
It's
against
really-
the rules.
But it's cold, and my butt's on a metal chair. I mean, it is really fucking cold if you do that.
How cold
No
is it
pants.
up there? Should I bring a coat?
It's just cold because it started raining this morning. So I think you'll be okay. I mean, as long as you bring a hoodie, you'll be fine.
I don't have hoodies.
Yeah, it's Illinois. The wind sucks. It gets cold.
How do you not have a hoodie? I've got like 85 of them.
Because I live in North Carolina.
Oh, that's true.
And
I
he's
mean, I've-
furry.
That's
I mean,
true.
I
You
got-
got your own natural hoodie, whereas,
Well, no,
My-
hoodie.
like, okay,
Yeah,
so
he
I've
doesn't
got
have a hoodie. He has his
I've
own
got-
natural sweater. It's all just fur from here down.
I've got the red one with the Yoda heart. I just got 2 from the campaign that I wear for Instagram called
The movie The Campaign with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis?
I'm talking about good movies.
That was an okay movie, and it takes place
Ouch.
in North Carolina. Zach Galifianakis' home state.
No, I wear clothes for GLP Fitness, and right now their campaign is Love Yourself. So I've got a Love Yourself hoodie and a Love Yourself T-shirt, and I've also got a Confidence from Within sweater, and I've got a gray sweater, and I've got what are the other hoodies? I have like 90,000. I have a Stitch hoodie. I've got Captain America. I've got really big black hoodie. I've just got a lot of them because you know what? Chicago weather sucks. So
Mm-hmm.
So
Well-
bring a coat.
I don't miss it.
I don't say bring a coat. I say bring a hoodie, and they're cheaper than coats.
I already have a coat, so no, it's not cheaper. My coat's free. He's already got it.
That's true, but you're gonna be
Cheap
warm in a hoodie
ass.
or warm in a coat.
Hey! Take off the coat, and it's all good.
And then you're gonna be cold.
No, he's
Then
not.
I'll
He's
put
got
on the
fur.
coat.
You're just gonna be doing this the whole time you're here. You're gonna be like, my arms.
Hey,
Just
I'm
put
a
on-
man of constant flux.
All right. Okay, so should we actually start the show? Because we've been live for
Probably.
about 5 minutes now.
It's not been 5 minutes. It's been like 3. Come on, Naki.
What
Get your
up,
stopwatch
Zio? I
on.
don't have my stopwatch on.
Your
All right, guys.
internal stopwatch.
Welcome to episode, I think we're on 202, but I think I titled the episode 2 billion or something like that because I wasn't actually
Something
sure
like that.
what time or which one we were on because I was gone last week. But Chris isn't here, so I took over. So, haha, bitches. What are you doing? Are you stroking your chest hair?
Well, because in the chat, I see SP says I shaved off my chest hair, and do I have to prove that wrong?
You already did. Don't show it to us again.
Well, no, I did. He says it's not there. That's clearly right there. That's a good little.
must
He's
have-
literally, he could braid his chest hair. You don't need to show it off.
SP just
Ouch.
wanted another look.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
he's
okay,
going to
he
see
gets
it
to-
live and in person next week.
I was gonna go with he can rub it live in person.
That'll be
Fingers
part of our
right
panel.
through
So
it.
we're
Just
talking
rub the
about
willy?
it. We're talking about it. So let's talk about that real fast. Next week, C2E2 happens, and Willie, Chris, and I, Chris, who is currently not here, but Willie, Chris, and I will be in Chicago and speaking on a panel with SP, Cody, and Beef, talking about injecting podcasts into your everyday life and you know what fun we have by doing this and how we've met people and the awesome things that being in a network can really benefit. We have a really awesome network here and we want to share that with you guys. So
We do?
shut up, Anthony.
I do the best I can, but I don't know if that's enough.
Well, anyways, if you want to see us live and in person, we can all high five together in Chicago next week. We're in room S503, I believe. And at 2:45 on Friday, and then I think most of us will be there all weekend too. But I will be in costume 2 of the days, which you can see right behind me if you're watching the live stream. So 2 of them are currently in progress, almost done, because I am one of those people who wait till last minute.
Better get to it.
Nothing wrong with that. That's
You're running out of time.
My life's about last minute. I just got my ticket last week for plane trip.
Wow. All right. I'm not that bad.
Yeah, procrastination's good though. Pressure either makes diamonds or dirt.
SP's injecting something into your everyday life in the workshop room. Oh, goodness me.
SP's going to take Willie into the workshop.
Whoa, leave me out of this.
No,
he's talking to you in the chat room, man. Check it out.
It's not me.
He's talking to Willie.
I didn't talk about the workshop, so...
It is in the workshop room. So, I mean, technically, he's taking you to the workshop, Willie.
All right, if we're doing this, I'm gonna be on top. That's how it is. That's just it. If we got to do this, we're gonna do this right.
Mr. President just messaged me on Gmail, and Geeks.live is apparently broken. So it's somehow my fault. Even though I wasn't the one to set it up this morning.
Naki only broke a small part of the internet.
The producer was here. He set it up. So Cajun Sean says hola. He spelled that wrong, and then says move on. Thanks, Cajun Sean. Appreciate it. It is still. Sorry, I'm just, whatevs. Shall we go?
Willie hasn't been here for a Naki show yet. He doesn't know how much fun they are.
If you have not been in for a Naki show, just know I break the internet, and apparently I broke Geeks.live this morning. I had nothing to do with it, but knowing my history, it's pretty fucking funny that it broke this morning.
Something always breaks when Naki's in charge.
It's true. I break everything. This is why I'm not allowed to be in charge. So, shall we go into our news of the week?
Indeed.
All right. So we're gonna say that's about 9 minutes in, and I don't have bumps. I'm not fancy. I don't have like any of this stuff. I do live streaming without bumps or anything like that because I do video games.
We don't need bumps.
And now it's time for News of the Week.
See, we just have to hire Willie on as our announcer from now on. All right, who wants to go first? My news is old, so we can go with that if you want.
Let's do yours first, Naki.
Yeah, let's do your old news.
All right, my news is kind of old. I haven't been here because sick and stuff. But my news is that The Ring and The Grudge is getting a crossover movie, kind of via Freddy vs. Jason. Except they're doing it in both with the Japanese directors, and then they're doing an American version with Sam Raimi as well. Other than Spider-Man, I don't know what he's done lately. So
Drag Me to Hell.
Drag Me to Hell.
Oh, see, I didn't see Drag Me to Hell.
Watch it. It's great.
Yeah,
is it?
It was his return to horror after the Spider-Man films. It was really good.
Give it a 9 out of 10.
And he's also been executive producing the Evil Dead TV show.
That doesn't say anything for me. I haven't watched that at all.
Well, that's your fault.
I don't. Well, we all know how I dislike Bruce Campbell, so whatever.
I don't. Why do you hate Bruce Campbell? Let's get into this.
She doesn't like the chin.
Is that it? Is that the reason? Really?
No. I was a stage manager. I don't like him on a personal level.
Oh, I can see that.
I was a stage manager. I don't appreciate being treated like shit, so on a personal level, I extremely dislike Bruce Campbell.
Well, let's see how I treat you this coming week.
If you break my spine, I'm not going to like you either. I mean, that's just how that goes.
Hey, shit happens, Naki.
Leave my spine alone. Anyway, so I have a dislike for Bruce Campbell. Moving on. So the thing that I find interesting with this is that they're starting it in both Japan before moving it to America, so like they do all of the other horror movies that come in, but they're still going to do it for both, and that to me is really cool, despite the fact that I've disliked every American horror remake that they've done. But these are both really well-known horror icons for the 2000s. Not exactly like the 80s with the Freddy vs. Jason, but people know The Ring and The Grudge, and how they're not really like American scary, but they've got a good story to them. I enjoy the story of. I like a good classic haunted house story, so that's why I liked The Grudge, and then I like the idea that something can kill you via videotape. But in the trailer, you see the chick from The Grudge, or the thing from The Grudge, smashing the tape. So, I mean, I'm really kind of curious as to how this is going to play out in real life type thing. And to me, this is exciting because I love classic Japanese horror, and I love to see how they bring it to America and make it Americanized, so it's actually like what we consider to be American scary. Again, I'm kind of desensitized to this stuff. I don't find this stuff to be actually scary except for Saw, the original, not any of the stupid remakes that or stupid sequels that came after it. But the original Saw was very solid and very gritty and had that scare tactic to it. As it could be something that happens to you, that you get punished for being a shitty person. So don't be a shitty person.
Good question. Now, for the original Japanese version, that was 2 separate directors you said they're bringing in for, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to be like co-directors?
Mm-hmm.
Now, and you're saying that for the American version, they're doing, you said...
It's going to be Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi. Now, I want to see him partnered with one other horror director.
Eli
Roth.
Eli Roth, really?
Yeah, I like... What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just.
You
I'm
don't
just
like Eli Roth now?
No. I'm not saying anything about Eli Roth. I'm saying they have 2 very different styles. I think was it Eli Roth who did the New Nightmare with Jackie Earle Gleason.
Jackie Earle Haley.
Gleason.
I don't know. Give me a second. I'll look it up. It wasn't Eli Roth though. I can tell you that. Eli Roth is Hostel, Cabin Fever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Green Inferno. That's his new one. That's all Eli Roth.
Like, I don't mind Eli Roth. I didn't enjoy Hostel by any means. I know some people who did it. I just thought it was torture porn.
Yeah,
it is torture porn.
And I don't like torture porn. See, the thing with these with the Ring and the Grudge is I feel they're very much story driven and not so much on the torture porny side. Like, I feel like he likes to do super bloody gutty, like that sort of thing, and Sam Raimi is very much a story-driven artist. So I don't know if combining the 2 of them would be... Ideally, to me, it would have been Wes Craven, but unfortunately, we can't have that.
I don't know for the Japanese horror, though.
Wes Craven can do anything.
Wes Craven can do a very solid story. I mean, New Nightmare with Freddy Krueger and... like where they combined the real world with the Freddy Krueger universe, like that was actually pretty solid.
Yeah, the meta version.
Yeah.
The director of the new Nightmare on Elm Street was Samuel Bayer, who basically, other than that movie, has done a bunch of music videos.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say, that one was really rapey.
Well, in all fairness, they refocused on the child rape aspect of Freddy, which in the original film was in there, and then right before New Line was going to start promoting and then releasing the film, in '82, there was a huge court case where there was a school where it was found out that 4 or 5 teachers had been raping students, and so New Line didn't want to be seen as capitalizing on an actual tragic event, and so they turned down the part of the story where Freddy was a rapist and made it more about him being a child murderer.
Right. And I thought that was a good focus. The rapey thing is, yeah, it's scary and it's creepy, but at the same time, it's not scary in the sense that it's scary so much as it's just gross, and it's something that happens far too often in modern society, which I guess is why they find it scary and that sort of thing. But like, I just thought it was too focused on that, and it could have been brought back to more of why he was scary in the first place, which was that he didn't just rape them, he murdered them. But that was me. Like, I just didn't enjoy it. It was too rapey. It was too...
No,
I didn't need
I think
that.
I heard they were going to have a little difference in the script, where actually it turns out Freddy Krueger was innocent of all these, and they just kind of killed him with him being innocent. So his coming back and killing them was kind of justified a little bit. I thought that would have been an interesting twist.
It would have been.
I think in the new one they shot both endings.
Yeah, I think
one
so.
where the kids find out he was innocent, one where they found out he was guilty, and then they tested both of them.
I want to see the innocent one because that seems like a better story than just he did it. Let's go blah 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 monster.
I mean, I don't know. I go back and forth because it's just like I just didn't enjoy it. Like Freddy to me is he's scary, but he's also funny. So they did not.
Oh yeah, and focusing more on the child rape part, it's harder to cheer for him even as the villain.
Right.
And Robert Englund cheered for him in the movies. It got to the point where the audience was cheering for him to kill teenagers, and that's a little harder to do with the version that they try to do with Jackie Earle Haley. And in all fairness, because I own all the Nightmares, all the box sets, every version they've ever done, I fucking love those films. Nightmare on Elm Street is possibly my favorite movie of all time. Jackie Earle Haley was set up for failure from the beginning because no one is Freddy Krueger but Robert Englund. That is a role that can't be redone.
At the same time, he is a really creepy Freddy, and he's got that.
Yeah, he's great, but he wasn't Freddy. He was a great monster. He wasn't Freddy Krueger.
Right.
Let's not also forget the Freddy movies also got to a point where he killed someone using a power glove and pulled him into a video game,
right.
a la Nick Arcade.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's I mean, so the thing is that so this all started because I'm really excited for The Ring and The Grudge to do this merge. I know like Anthony isn't a huge fan of the Japanese horror theme. Personally, it's where I really started, I guess, with horror. Again, living overseas, you're very limited to what American horror you get. So, it was just one that I knew from the beginning was Japanese horror, and so the thing that people have to understand is Japanese horror is much more story-driven than American horror, which tends to be more of the torture porny style. I don't know why, but that's just how it goes, and that's fine. Some people enjoy that. Like I said, I enjoy Saw, or the first Saw. Everything after sucks. So.
Especially Saw 3. Jesus, that was bad.
They don't suck. They're great imaginative production ways of killing people in different ways.
The third
just not
horrible.
Great stories.
That's the thing, is that like Saw 1 had the story and that imaginative thing. They lost the story after 2. And I know that they tried to tie it all together, because I've seen them all. They tried to tie it all together. It just wasn't a story that worked, especially after spoiler alert, they killed Jigsaw. And it's just like, no.
No, I liked his apprentices basically fighting over who gets to be his apprentice.
It was.
I stopped watching, so I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Oh yeah, I've seen all 7 of them.
Yeah, I've
There's
seen all
7
of them.
Yeah,
There's
and
7.
it is literally like in the end movie, they're flashing back to stuff before Jigsaw became Jigsaw. So it is all one complete story, which is kind of nuts when you go back and watch all of them in a row. That everything fits, and pretty much it all happens over the course of a couple of years in one town. Like hundreds of people are being murdered by fucking Jigsaw and his apprentices.
Jesus.
It gets to be almost overwhelming, and I feel like it it lost its luster to me because it didn't hold that story, and the apprentices kind of suck, and because like the one apprentice is just like going all YOLO rogue, and he's not really like following the story, like why Jigsaw was doing it. And then there's the other apprentice that's like, no, I'm the right apprentice, and then like tries to kill the other apprentice, and it got to be this like really convoluted, like fucked up storyline, and it was just like, and then it didn't make any sense. And then there was a detective that happened to live through like 4 of them and then died in the last one. And it was like, well, you were cheering for him to live because he lived through 4 of them. And of that case, that was a New Kid on the Block. And
yeah, it was Donnie Wahlberg.
It was Donnie Wahlberg. And like, it was just, it got to be like almost laughing through these movies where you're watching people die and you're like, this is not how it should be by any
Which
means.
is why I love them.
Well, to bring it back to
The Ring.
The Ring and The Grudge. I've only seen those movies one time, and the American ones. I'm actually quite excited to see these verses. Blah 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 blah. That'd be kind of cool to see, I believe.
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a fun movie. I don't necessarily think it's going to be a horror movie.
What do
Because
you think it's gonna be then?
I think it's gonna be like how Freddy vs. Jason was, where it wasn't a horror movie.
God, I love Freddy vs. Jason.
It was
Hell
good
yeah.
for as a action movie, but it wasn't a horror by any means.
It was good shit.
It was a tropey movie.
I've watched that movie like 20 times. I fucking love it.
I mean, I saw that movie in theaters. I own it. I adore that movie, but I always thought it was mismarketed as a horror movie, where I'm like, no, this is an action movie. It's kind of like how the latest with Tom Hiddleston, and it was done by the same guy who did Pacific Rim.
Guillermo del Toro.
Right. That movie that just came out this past summer, I can't think of the name of it. That was not a horror movie. It was a ghost love story. And it was fantastic as a ghost love story, but I went into it thinking of it as a horror movie. And I was like,
yeah, I downloaded it. I haven't watched it yet, though.
it's really good as long as you don't think of it as a horror movie. It's not horror. It's a ghost love story. It's very beautifully shot. It's wonderful in that aspect, but they totally mismarketed it as a horror movie.
Bugging me, I can't think of what it's called.
Yeah, I can't think of what it's called for the life of me, and I was so excited for it when it came out.
Scarlet, something with red or something.
Yeah, Crimson Peak.
Thank
There we
you,
go.
Crimson Peak.
I was thinking red stuff to do. I'm like, it's red. What the fuck
Yeah,
is
I
it?
was like, Red
Scarlet?
House? No, it's
No.
not Red House. It's
Scarlet Letter? No.
No, that was an old story. Okay, so anyways, let's go on to somebody else's news of the week. We've talked horror enough, I think. So shall we do Willie and then we'll save Anthony's? Okay.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Willie.
Let me just pull up my book of notes because, like I said last week, I watched Pixels. And yes, I took
The
notes.
never-ending story.
Hey, you can't do that.
Nope,
you
I'm
can't do
under
that. I
10
can show
seconds. I'm under 10 seconds.
That's a fake rule.
Which,
it's our
actually,
rules, so I say it
we've had
works.
some update to the copyright stuff. If we want to talk about that later on, we've got a lot of update for that.
Now, I was going into this movie expecting to hate it, and it was just boring, but thought I could have some fun out of making fun of it. I'll get to that. So, Pixels, starring, of course, Adam Sandler and Kevin James, Peter Dinklage.
Dinklage rocks.
So the movie starts up. It's back in 1982. And how's it start out?
Wait. We need like a story time with Willie bump at this point.
Well, you don't have any bumps, so...
I don't have any bumps, but maybe I should make one for this moment.
Story time with Willie. 'Cause, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways,
So
go on.
the movie starts out in 1982, and what does it start out with? Some good fucking music, some Surrender by Cheap Trick. I was like, awesome.
Nice.
I'm already into this.
Love me
And-
some Cheap Trick.
Young Adam Sandler and young Kevin James meet up and saying something about hey, let's go to the arcade. So they get on their bikes and they start going down the street, and young Kevin James rides by. I'm not sure if it's his sister or some random girl in the neighborhood who's has a lemonade stand and just steals her jar of quarters. His lemonade, 25 cents, and that is a big jar. I think it has like $200 worth of quarters, if that. I'm like, that's a lot of quarters in there, and he just straight up stole it from this little girl. And then, just like this movie will probably steal from my brain, I wrote down. So they go to the arcade. They find out there's a arcade championship going on, so they go to it. And I'm at this point, I'm like, I hope Billy Mitchell makes an appearance. Spoiler: he doesn't make an appearance. I was hoping for a Billy Mitchell. And so at this championship, who do you think it would be a good announcer for 1982 video game? Looks like they dusted off good old Dan Aykroyd for it.
Whoa, I love Dan Aykroyd. I've met
What's
him
the
in
last thing
person.
he's been in? Last thing I remember him being in is Evolution.
Oh God, he was in Evolution. Hang on, I could find this out.
And I think he
Yeah,
was in
no.
some kind of made-for HBO movie, some kind of Spider-Woman horror movie back when they did that.
He played somebody's dad in another movie recently. I can't remember who though.
He is in the new Ghostbusters movie.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
He was in Blues Brothers 2000, The Real Ghostbusters, which came out in 2011, and Ghostbusters Sanction of Slime, the video game, which was in 2011. Oh no,
What's
that's
the
Writers.
real Ghostbusters?
It's a video game. Lego
Wait,
Dimensions, he was
I
in,
thought it's called Ghostbusters.
and then Pixels, and Get On
Oh.
Up, Tammy, The Game Changer, Legend of Oz. Saturday Night
Tammy,
Live.
that's right. Yeah, he was in Tammy. He was getting that.
I know I don't watch Melissa McCarthy comedies, so yeah.
She's awesome, dude. Spy was fucking fantastic.
Is that the one with no,
Jason
the one with Sandra
No,
Bullock
Spy.
was actually kind of
That's
funny.
Heat. That was Heat.
Yep.
That
And then
was good,
there's
too.
also the one with Jason Bateman. What the hell was that one?
That
named?
one was bad. I didn't like that one at all.
Oh yeah, where she's like an
It's a
identity.
Identity
Yeah, that's
theft
it.
or something like
Maybe
that.
it's called identity theft. Yeah, that one could have been funnier.
So the championship just getting started, and then who pops open the door and is walking in with two hot chicks on either side of his arm is young Dinklage, whoever the actor is playing a young Dinklage character. And this guy, I think he plays the character better than Dinklage himself, which is how arrogant he is. That's just my opinion. Just 'cause watch the movie, you'll see this guy just has an air of
Cockiness.
yeah, pretty much. And, oh wait, and what music's gonna start playing? We Will Rock You. Oh, I hope the music is good throughout the rest of this movie.
I do love me some Queen.
Oh, unless so they finally get to the end of the championship is down to Sandler and young Dinklage, or their respective younger selves. And Dinklage wins. Woo woo woo! And then everyone start calling young Sandler a loser for coming in second. I wish I could come in third for something like that myself. I mean, who calls someone a loser? You're a loser. You came in second. You beat all these other people, but you're still a loser.
That's all you do when it's in the script.
You're not winning me over with this movie so far. I'm just saying.
Are you really going by something I'm describing?
Yes.
So we jump into present day, and it's actual Sandler and Kevin James sitting down, chilling out at a bar, drinking some beers. They're the only ones in there, and there's some like bouncers, bodyguard-looking guys in the background, and then they're watching something on TV, and it clicks in my head like, wait a second, is Kevin James the president? Oh shit, Kevin James is the president in this movie of the United States.
What?
Yeah,
What?
Hey, Willie, young Eddie is Andrew Bambridge.
Dude is
and
awesome.
That is his first actual movie.
I hope to see him again because he is awesome.
He's only done two things. He did an Onion News Network series episode as an alien baby, and he was Fast Eddie Keebler on Happy-ish, the TV show. But yeah, this is his first film, so yeah, for it being his first movie, he was really, really good. He was fucking funny.
Oh, you seen this movie?
Yeah, I've seen Pixels.
Oh, good. So
I think it's
help,
just here.
help fill in the
modern
gaps.
Adam
if I-
Sandler.
Yeah, help fill in the gaps if I don't really explain it that well.
I think you're over-explaining it fine.
All right.
I was gonna say, yawning me here.
All right.
Move it along.
All right. The beginning of the movie is pretty good. Now Sandler is now he's he's part of the Geek Squad or something, making home appearances, to fix stuff up. And he's already hitting on a recently divorced mom. The writing is showing why the movie is known to be bad. Jesus, is bad. But now something that pisses me off. Now the movie's saying that old games are much better than today's games. I'm gonna say it's straight up bullshit. Because later on they say, "What's this game? The Last of Us? It looks horrible. Why don't we go play some Galaga?"
What? The
I
Last of
know.
Us was great.
They showed The Last of Us, and they're saying, "Why don't you go play a better game, an old one?" Like,
See, again, you're not winning me on this movie.
I know.
There's nothing other than the soundtrack that you're bringing me into this with.
It does have some laughs, but I don't think I bothered to write them down because they're not really worth it. But okay, so jump ahead. An Air Force base is attacked, and so part of the base gets ripped away, and there's this beam of light going down. And what does this trained soldier do? He stands right in the middle of the light and just stares at it. He walks into it and just stares up at it. Huh, what's this? Oh crap, I'm getting turned into pixels. I don't think it's his actual line, but
Close enough.
it would have been better. And then you find out that that woman that Adam Sandler was hitting on was actually works in the White House. I forget her role. But you can obviously tell. Was it? Oh yeah, obvious romantic love interest is obvious. And then Jesus Christ, when they both get into the White House, Adam Sandler and the obvious romantic love interest, they do a Happy Gilmore joke, and I was like, why can't I be watching that movie right now? I think he's like, somebody's more important, and does like a little moonwalk into the Oval Office. It's just weird.
Willie, Steven has the most important question for you. What is better, Jason X or Pixels?
I love Jason X.
Damn right.
So much.
Sleeping bag against a tree death.
Hey, you want to smoke some pot or have some premarital sex? So good.
And Uber Jason, come on, man. They went so far as to do Uber Jason. That was the coolest shit ever.
Jason X was awesome, Steven. It's just a great movie. Don't deny it.
Titanium laced and nano enhanced fucking Jason Voorhees. Fuck yes.
But now speaking
I own
about
that script.
Now speaking about a movie that Happy Gilmore that I'd rather watch. Oh look, it's Brian Cox as a military guy. Gee, I want to watch X2 now. Hell, I'll even settle for Super Troopers. Let's see. Oh my God, they mentioned 4chan in the movie. I don't even remember what it was about, but they mentioned 4chan in a multi-million-dollar movie.
Sandler trying to be topical.
Topical what, of 2008? That's the last time you really cared about 4chan?
I haven't cared about this movie since the beginning.
Come on, there's 14 million 12-year-olds right now that still care about 4chan.
There's not enough coffee in the world to keep me awake during this, Willie. Come on, speed it up.
All right, don't worry. How about this funny line? This plot is more forced than an all-fiber diet.
Really?
Yeah,
really? That line was pretty forced.
What? I wrote that myself, and I'm pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I bet Sandler's proud of Pixels too. That doesn't make him right.
How about this? This is a direct quote. You smell so good, like the Book of Genesis. I have no idea what the hell that means.
Is that supposed to be like a Bible reference?
I don't know.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
That was a quoted line I wrote down in quotes. Sad smiley face afterwards. Then let's just jump forward, skipping past a lot. The aliens already attacked, and they figured it out. And then they find out where the next place they're attacking. It's in Britain. And then of course they're all there. Sean Bean's there. He doesn't die. But yeah, all the actors are British stereotypes. They want to go drink and fight. That's pretty much it.
Drink and fight.
Pretty much, it's been boring and not worth talking about. Just a few gay jokes, sadly, going on from this. But hey, at least the music is still good with Working for the Weekend.
SP has pointed out that you are still talking about Pixels, therefore Sandler did his job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cajun Sean said Ridiculous 6 sounds more fun than Pixels. It was, actually. I've seen both.
I have not seen
Ridiculous 6 was
either.
more fun than Pixels.
Would you recommend Ridiculous 6?
If you want, you want stupid comedy for an hour and a half, and you want a stupid Adam Sandler film to laugh at, yeah, I would recommend it.
Do you want to talk about movies that are old that we watched? Because I watched The Punisher last night with Thomas Jane.
That's an awesome movie.
Hell yes.
That movie is corny as shit, but it still holds a place in my heart.
It's corny.
God's
That's
gonna
what's so
sit
awesome
this
about
one
it.
out.
Yeah, oh my god, one of my favorite lines of all time.
God, it was so fucking corny as shit.
Fine, you want something that's not as corny? Go watch. Was it Dirty Laundry, or is it Laundry Day, where Thomas Jane reprises
I
his
think it's
role in
called
a
Dirty Laundry. Yeah, the short film that he did as the Punisher.
that came out like
I
last
mean,
year, or the year before.
That was a couple years ago. It was
Here's
good.
the thing: is that Thomas Jane is a great Punisher. Unfortunately, like, so I'm watching the end of this movie, and spoiler if you haven't seen it, the Punisher wins, and the way that they take out the Saints. I don't know, like when I was younger, this movie came out in 2004, so we're talking like this movie's 12 years old.
I saw it day one in theaters. Don't you talk?
No.
Yep.
I did too.
Me
I
too.
was blown away when I was seeing it in theaters. Watching it today on my TV, I was just like, this stuff was really cool before. It doesn't really hold up so much anymore because I'm like, what? Like, you could see the flame suit that they throw on John Travolta so he doesn't actually like catch on fire, and you could see the flame suit on like 3 of the actors, and then you could see like the special effects has come a long way since then. And so there's just like these moments of pure cheesiness and corniness that I'm just like, I am not supposed to be laughing, but I totally am right now. But I still, like I said, I enjoy this movie. It holds a special place in my heart. Thomas Jane is a fantastic Punisher. It's just, it has not held up super well.
Well, and Cajun Sean said in the chat room, at least it's not the Dolph Lundgren. If you want to talk about a movie that doesn't hold up, go watch the first Punisher film.
I have not seen the Dolph Lundgren one.
He doesn't even have a skull in his chest. He's just a psycho Vietnam vet running around the sewers on a motorcycle. Like, it's batshit crazy.
I will say this about the Punisher, the Thomas Jane one. The Russian fight scene is one of my favorite fight scenes out of any movie.
Oh, him and Kevin Nash, that is a great fight scene.
Really?
And I wanted a movie with nothing but that much intensity, and I got it with Punisher War Zones.
Okay, so
the ultra-violence. The only Marvel film directed by a woman.
Yep.
Suncast in the chat has said Dolph did a Kindergarten Cop remake. I did not know that.
I think it's recent. Yeah. I think it's recent. It just came out or something.
Coming out now. They did Kindergarten Cop 2. It's fucking awful.
And Draftsman in the chat says, I really like The Punisher, and the movie is based on an awesome take on the story arc Welcome Back Frank, which I was actually talking about with Boyfriend last night. It's based on a really good comic arc. Punisher doesn't have a whole lot of them, honestly, on his solo stuff. He's really good in a team-up, I think. I don't like many of his solo. He did a short a couple years ago that was only a 3 comic arc that I actually really enjoyed. That was a solo one, but for the most part, I really only know Punisher from his team-ups. But I knew that one, where Welcome Back Frank, and the whole story with Joan and Bumbo and Bumbo,
Spaker Dave.
You can figure out which one he is.
Yep.
Yeah. And I actually really like that storyline anyway, so I thought that they pulled from a really good story. Now, I don't remember Warzone. I know I saw it, and I know I hated it, so I don't remember.
I love Warzone. Oh, no, Punisher's problem in the comics is that he suffers from the flaw of no great villain.
Right.
All great heroes have great villains. That's why we love Batman and Superman and Spider-Man, is because of the amazing villains that they have. But frickin' Punisher, if you're a Punisher villain, you fucking die. So he has the problem where, it's really hard for the writers to have a villain that keeps coming back. Basically, he has Jigsaw. Like, that's the one dude he hasn't been able to kill, like, more than once.
Right. And so it was just, like, that's the problem with the Punisher, and that's why I like his team-ups, because when he did the Punisher Deadpool team-up was really good. I remember reading that one. There's a couple team-ups that I read with him that I enjoyed, but I've always enjoyed him in more of a team-up aspect and less on a solo aspect. So that was my take, is that they pulled from a really good storyline, and that's why I really enjoyed the first Punisher or second Punisher, I guess, with Thomas Jane. And I didn't enjoy Warzone because it wasn't
Why,
to me. It didn't hold. If I can't remember it, it wasn't good.
You know what, Naki, no hug for you. No hug for you now.
I loved it.
You can find your own ride to C2E2 then, man. I mean, whatever.
Spurting. Warzone was good shit.
So,
on
and
the
then Cajun
wanna
Sean does make the reminder that we will see Punisher Friday in Daredevil season 2. Very true.
Indeed.
I won't.
Well, yeah, I will. I'll be watching all of it.
I
Low
won't
Life
probably get to
Otaku
till
says
Tuesday.
that the current Marvel run of the Punisher, or he's reading the Marvel Max run of the Punisher and really digs that. I've been told that I would enjoy that one, but I haven't read it yet. So it's on my
Nice.
list of things that I want to read. Yeah. So let's go to Anthony.
Cool.
And we'll
I
actually
was gonna
probably
say,
wind up staying on this because it's us.
yeah, my favorite was actually being used to good effect was Punisher in the Civil War comics. They actually had him join Cap's team, and then after murdering some people, Captain America starts whooping his ass because Cap's is basically stressed out about the whole Civil War fight. And they have this great sequence where he beats the shit out of Frank Castle, and Frank Castle won't lift a hand or hit him. And fucking Steve Rogers is losing his shit. He's like, why the fuck won't you fight me back? He's like, I can't hit you. I could never hit you. Basically, the only person Frank Castle actually respects is Captain America.
Well, you can't blame him. I mean, he's a blue Boy
He's
Scout.
a war veteran. Yeah.
Also, yes. He's also a big blue Boy Scout.
Yeah. Speaking of Civil War, unless you were living under a rock, you may have noticed that there was a new trailer this week that made everybody forget that Batman vs Superman is happening at least for another day, because Marvel just loves kicking DC in the teeth, and they're really fucking good at it.
I keep forgetting that movie is coming out, honestly.
I even took the day off from work, but yeah, with the new trailer dropped, and yeah, for those that don't know, we got our first glimpse of the Tom Holland Spider-Man.
Spoiler.
And of course, hey, if you haven't seen it at this point, fuck you. You're not a geek. If this is actually news to you,
some of us
to it.
You are way behind schedule.
No.
You've been living under a rock.
I didn't actually get to see it until the day after it came out. So some of us have lives. Sorry.
Yeah, I paused. I stopped work and watched it 3 times at work. So
I can't
it
do
was
that.
worth seeing.
I was at
I
lunch.
can't do that at my job.
But yeah, basically the internet lost its shit because we have a very different version of the suit. We see Tony Stark basically calls Underoos, and Peter Parker flips over Captain America's head, webs his hand shut, takes his shield, lands on a truck, looks up and says, "Hey everybody," and his eyes shrink.
Hey
And-
everybody, I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, so it's I don't know. What do you guys think of the suit first? That'll be my question first. And we have to remember, he's in it for 2 seconds. So the people that have like done these in-depth fucking articles about it and all this shit, like it's all preliminary shit. It's a glimpse of a character.
Willie, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I like the suit. It really reminds me of Alex Ross's little. I like the coloring, how bright it looks too. Reminds me of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 when they really got it right. I'm kind of wondering what the eye shrinkage thing is. Is like some kind of mechanics thing. I do like how the eyes are a little bit animated in that way. And they kind of explain a bit why it is. I see no problems with it.
My problem wasn't the suit. So I didn't actually get to see the trailer, like I said, until a day later, but by that point, everybody had already had a screenshot up and blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize that was a screenshot of the trailer. I thought it was a toy where he was holding Captain's shield, so I was like, oh, it's a new toy that's coming out, and I'm like, oh, that's not a toy, that's what it actually is. And again, it's only 2 seconds, so I can't really make much of a discern there, but I always figured like his suit moved with his eyes, like because Peter Parker is a brilliant scientist, he could have made a suit that moves because he's a brilliant scientist, number one. Number two, it conveys emotion, and maybe we'll actually get a Spider-Man that doesn't take off his fucking mask. I know I'm asking a whole lot, but
that's not gonna happen.
I know
he's gonna unmask in the movie. That's gonna be part of the story.
Soundcast in the chat room says a picture's worth 1,000 words, so 2 seconds, 50 frames equals 50,000 words. He's not wrong.
There's been a lot more than that already written about this. But yeah, I went through Screen Rant, did a 10-item detailed breakdown because I guess Disney released a high-res version of the one screenshot where you can really see the suit. It's nice that we have mechanical web shooters because it's more fitting with the character. They show on the belt we've got web cartridges and stuff like that. The suit is straight up Ditko and Ramita Sr. It is the closest to the classic we've ever seen. The webs aren't raised or metallic looking. It's not a fucking basketball like Amazing Spider-Man 1. It is, it is the most faithful interpretation of the suit so far. And I think really we only have like the dark stripes on the arms and the boots to just kind of differentiate it a little bit so that whoever designed the suit could say, hey, I put in my part. But yeah, some people are actually talking about the eyes moving being a reference to Deadpool. If you think anything Spider-Man has ever done is a reference to Deadpool, you're a dumbass, read a comic book. Everything Deadpool has ever done is a reference to Spider-Man.
I was going to say.
Because he's a takeoff character.
The
eyes in the comics makes no fucking sense at all because it's spandex on Peter Parker's face. I have been a staunch advocate against anybody that draws him to where his eyes move when it's cloth on his head. His eyes should never fucking blink. He should never have emotion. They shouldn't be able to emote with his face. But I love the fact that these eyes move in the movie because there's a mechanical sound when it happens. They are lenses. It is not cloth. This actually makes sense. So I actually love the fact that the eyes move in this movie because there's a reasoning for it.
Again, Peter Parker's a brilliant scientist.
Well, see, and I don't think Peter Parker made the suit. I think what we're going to see here, because remember, this is Sony joining Marvel. So supposedly Tom Holland is a 19-year-old actor who's going to be playing a 16-year-old Peter Parker. So 2 years ago, when this kid was 14 and got bit, he was living in Manhattan while the Avengers were fighting an alien invasion. So this is a kid who's a genius growing up in New York where the Avengers exist. And I think we're going to find that at some point Tony Stark finds out who he is, gets him to join up with him, and he's working with Stark. And I think it's Stark that built him the suit. And that's why we have a high-tech, web shooters, lenses that move. So he might even possibly have a heads-up display in there, but it's not mechanical because it's Spider-Man. He moves around too much. He's fast. He's agile. He's all about movement. He wouldn't wear armor. But I think that's what we're going to get is the suit's going to be a collaboration.
So this actually brings up a point that I was having a discussion with earlier this week with one of my coworkers. Stark having his hands in all of this technology, including Ultron and all of that stuff, despite how I dislike that movie. What do you think that's going to do for the overhaul of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because this is taking out some of the intelligence, like I said, not really that it takes out the intelligence of Peter Parker, but this is instead of Peter Parker making the stuff himself, we're going to have Stark technology. Instead of, Vision being kind of like the alien, well, depending on what storyline you read, where he's a vision of Stark technology. Are we overplaying Stark at this point, or are we actually going to... Do you think they'll finally branch off from Stark technology and start bringing in some of the other things that make the Marvel Universe what it is?
We might start getting Pym tech, but the reason that's one of the main reasons Stark was so overdone is because they gave him a lot of the storylines that were originally attributed to Hank Pym. Hank Pym's the one who created Ultron.
Well,
Hank
we do
Pym's
get
the one
Ant-Man in this movie.
who started the Avengers. Yeah, but it's not Hank Pym. It's Scott Lang, so it's the different Ant-Man. So yeah, I mean, we might get a break off of some different technology at the end of this film, but I think it's something that they're just kind of going to glance over. They're not going to talk about the fact that Tony might have a way to turn off Hawkeye's arrows, because if he built them, he might have a shutdown switch. I don't think they're going to focus on that too much, but it's possible.
And SP brings up a good point that now we're going to get Doctor Strange, too.
Yeah, so we're going to get real magic.
Right, which, in turn, that could be the out of Stark technology, too. But we were having this discussion because, the trailer came out, whatever, so I was just like, are we overhauling Stark at this point? Because, Robert Downey Jr. is not going to be in the movies much longer unless he signs on another contract. So we're going to lose Tony Stark, which means we're going to lose the out of Stark technology.
No, we're going to get a different Tony Stark. They're going to James Bond him eventually. We're going to get a different actor playing Tony Stark.
Yeah,
the character Tony Stark's not going to go away. It's just, someone's going to have really big shoes to fill. But every time we think about a character where like that, could never be redone, look at Jack Nicholson and frickin' Heath Ledger.
That's
Like,
true.
there
I
are
mean,
actors that step into roles that no one thinks should ever be done, and then we get blown away sometimes. Some actors do an amazing job.
yeah. I mean, I could be wrong. There could be somebody who could replace Robert Downey Jr. that I actually wind up liking more, but I have a huge love of Robert Downey Jr. since Chaplin, so I mean, like, that's going to be hard for me.
True. And when it comes down to him actually filming whatever the last contracted role is, when he actually sits down with his giant fucking pile of Disney money and says, okay, am I really ready to not be Tony Stark ever again? Like, he might, step back to that negotiation table and say, you know what? I've been doing this for 15 years, and I really fucking like doing it.
It was his big comeback. I mean,
Well, and
he had a really...
We had the point where Chris Evans said he was done. He didn't want to do Captain America again, and publicly stated that. And now he's gone on to say, "No, I'll play Captain America as long as fucking Marvel will keep me under contract." So I mean, there's still a chance. RDJ's not gone yet. He's not gone yet. Goddammit.
Well, I mean, okay. So Cajun Sean brings up the point that Tony Stark is supposed to appear in the next Sony Spider-Man movie. So there we go. Stark Technology makes that crossover right there. Drasman says, honestly, I want Spider-Man to get his own movie and give up on this costume with his security badge from Stark Enterprises. This means we get an organic change of outfit, and then he might develop his own suit in this movie, his own movie. Mr. President says he agrees with you. I wouldn't believe that until a recasting or death has been announced. The truck of money is influential, which is very, very true.
And Disney has all the money. They have all the money.
RDJ has an amazing contract. He gets to take home a portion of all of his movies. I think it's like 0.1%, but that's still of $1 billion. That's a shit ton of money right there.
Yeah, he has a great back-end deal. But yeah, I mean, Sony can go one of two ways. They can do almost a prequel to this film where we'll rewind and see, because we're going to see an origin story again. You fucking know we are, no matter how much people don't like it. Every movie could be someone's first glimpse of Spider-Man, so we will get another Spider-Man origin movie. So we can either see, a flashback sequence to before, like, the events of the Avengers film, where we see a really young Peter Parker in Manhattan, or it might go off of this film. Sony might take Civil War, and then, if they do what was in the actual comics, Peter Parker was the one who turned sides. Parker was totally on Stark's side. He unmasked, and then he said, you know what, this is wrong, and he joined Captain America's team and started fighting for that side. So if at the end of this movie, if he switches, then, we have him getting rid of all the Stark tech, Parker building his own web shooters and making his own suit, so we'd get a slightly different version of the one he's wearing, and then him going on and doing, his own, a new trilogy.
I just rewatched the trailer right before we started, and it looks like Black Widow might be switching sides somewhere in there. They kind of hinted at.
I mean, they could always give that to her, and it really wouldn't change the story that much. My thing that I don't know how they're going to do is that everybody already knows that Tony Stark is Iron Man. And the big thing was that, Spider-Man unmasks and reveals that he's a 16-year-old kid. So I'm wondering how they're going to make that, like, the big impact when...
I don't think they're going to focus on that part as much as more of the registering superpowers versus the incident that happened. Because also Stanford, Connecticut was the original Civil War incident where children in a school were, incinerated. And then it was blamed on superheroes. What we're seeing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that they're blaming Sokovia, New York, and what was it, the Manhattan attack, S.H.I.E.L.D. They're blaming all of that on basically DC. They're basically blaming all of that on Captain America and the Avengers, and then saying that you need to register so that they can track them. So I don't think it'll be as focused as much on any one person giving up their secret identity as it was in the comics, because in the Marvel universe there's not really much secret identity going on. Fucking Thor is Thor. Everybody knows who Captain America is. Everybody knows who Tony Stark is. I think Hawkeye's really the only one who has a secret identity, and most people hate him anyways.
Well, I mean, they even kind of gave that away in Age of Ultron, where you find out he's got a family with kids.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, the general public doesn't know it, but at least, the other Avengers know it.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, I was kind of, going into Civil War, that was kind of one of the big parts of it, is that Spider-Man unmasks, and now the identity starts to leak.
I don't think the movie universe is going to focus on the secret identity aspect of it at all. They're going to focus more on registering those with superpowers with the government so that they can be tracked.
Right.
And that's when Captain America is going to say that, labeling and numbering people and tracking them is not American.
Yeah.
And then that's where we're going to get our fight, where Tony Stark's going to say, hey, we're all walking nuclear bombs. We should be registered with the government.
Well,
I mean, they're going to focus more on that aspect of it.
They even hinted at that in Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And then I'm interested, and we're gonna do like final thoughts on this because we're running short on time. But one of the things that I'm interested in is if we're going to get the Winter Soldier being Cap America, because Bucky does turn into Captain at one point.
So does Falcon. I'm not sure that'll be something I think they'll save until they're in negotiations with Chris Evans again.
That's true. I mean,
you know what? We got 2 people on the cast that can take your job, motherfucker. We'll give them the shield.
Well, they don't have the holding power quite yet that Chris Evans does. So I don't think it'll be the end of Civil War that we see the changeover. But I think that is something that could eventually happen. And I love Falcon Captain America. I know not everybody does. Personally, I love Falcon just in general.
The comic's been good.
What?
The comic has been good. Sam Wilson, Captain America, has been a really good comic.
And I'm curious to see, how they bring Ant-Man. We got a lot of Black Panther in this trailer, which I'm really excited for because I fucking love Black Panther.
I actually saw people complaining, why are they focused on Spider-Man? We should have gotten more Black Panther. You got 3 more new shots of Black Panther, shots of him fighting, shots of him crying over what's possibly his father's dead body, in civilian, just as Chadwick Boseman. We got tons of Black Panther, and I saw people complaining that they were focused on Spider-Man and not enough Black Panther. There's a 30-second fight sequence between him and the Winter Soldier.
Right. So in the chat room, Drasman said those are not children, those are short agents. The Mr. President says all these heroes are unmasked in Marvel, so sort of the perfect way for the masses to accept the unmasking. I've always been curious whether or not the masses would accept it after decades of their cinema being so focused on his keeping his secret identity. They now have so many who are unmasked that it would allow for easier pill for the masses to swallow. SP asks who's Black Panther.
Because SP is trolling.
SP, come on now.
Black Panther is John Leguizamo, the King of Wakanda.
Yes.
Ew.
Yay, John Leguizamo.
Ew.
That was my argument when they started talking race and trying to make Spider-Man black. I said, if you want it to be the best actor, then don't tell me John Leguizamo can't be up for the role of T'Challa, King of Wakanda, because nobody knows what the fuck a Wakandan looks like. It's a made-up country, goddammit.
We'll just leave this alone. I don't want to get into this discussion right now because we already know that I am opposed to your statement.
Yep.
So final thoughts on let's go. Cajun Sean says Marvel's African Batman. So let's go into final thoughts of the trailer, and then we'll go into what I'm into. So final thoughts. Let's start with Anthony.
I'm super stoked. Yeah, I couldn't be more excited to see Civil War. It looks fucking great, and yeah, what's going to come out of it, and where they're moving forward with the Marvel Universe, I'm fucking super excited.
Willie?
I have some questions. Like those 3 incidences they cited: the New York attack, DC, and Slovakia. The last one was the only one that was really the fault of the Avengers. Really, I mean, come on, Thunderbolt Ross, what's going on with that?
Well, I mean,
in all fairness, the aliens used
were
Tony
there.
Stark's tower in the first one to power the portal that let the invasion in. S.H.I.E.L.D. created the helicarriers that Captain America had to fight and destroy in DC. And then, Tony created... Yeah, but it's blaming... Instead, they can't blame the villains because the villains aren't around to take, the repercussions. So they're blaming the heroes.
And how'd you guys like what they call the splash page shot, where they're both running at each other during the airport fight?
It looks minimal in comparison to what it was in the book.
Yeah, I've seen the Facebook photo where someone put up comic book expectations and reality, and in the Civil War image it's like 100 heroes on each side, and then in the movie you've got like 6 side.
But there's just something seeing in motion and with real people.
Yeah,
Or
But yeah,
real people CGI.
Seeing a Spider-Man steel cap shield flip and land and do the superhero landing, which all the Deadpool memes were great. Superhero landing. Like that, seeing that in motion again was fantastic to see a new, and a very agile character. If you guys haven't seen Tom Holland's Instagram, this fucking kid is nuts. He basically just does parkour in his backyard all day long. Like does crazy triple backflips and kicks soccer balls out of the air. The kid is a hell of a gymnast.
Because I'm a klutz, so I'm like afraid to do parkour.
And there's one thing we have not mentioned. There's one thing we have not even talked about. Ant-Man gets shot out on a Hawkeye arrow.
Yep, that is a thing that happens.
Great comic book reference that has been done in the comics before and is awesome. I love the idea of Ant-Man inside of an arrow. That was a great shot.
It looks like he's on top of it and it splits apart. And he's like, Iron Man, take that.
Yep.
Okay, so in the chat room, we'll go with their final thoughts. So, SP says, I'm still not excited for Batman vs Superman. Neither am I. It's okay. Mr. President says and he says this in all caps, so I got to yell this. So glad it's looking like it's living up to being the dubbing of Avengers 2.5. Do I spit all over my mic? Gross.
That happens.
SP says, Iron Man 4. I'm still deciding what to wear to Civil War, Captain Shellhead or Webhead geeky jersey. Sean tells him to go Webhead. Low Life Otaku says, very tough on the knee, meaning the parkour. And Drasman said, C2E2, let's do this nerd thing. Let's nerd out hard and let us do it all together in the same building. It could be anticlimactic, but it could be crossing the streams. It could be amazing.
Try not to get any on you.
I thought you're not supposed to cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams. Okay, my final thoughts is that I'm still way more excited for this than I am for Batman vs. Superman. This is a given because I don't like Batman or Superman, so I don't care.
What's wrong with you?
They're boring. They're boring characters.
See, DC, this is where your marketing's going wrong because this lady should be excited about Wonder Woman finally being in a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Someone's not doing their job.
I mean, Wonder Woman was my first real superhero woman that I followed, and I should be so excited. I have my version of Wonder Woman that I love, and I mean, I'm not excited, and I should be, and that's the thing that bothers me.
Gal Gadot is small, but she does look fucking badass.
I don't care that she's
badass
small.
As well.
I don't care that she's small. If we're going by Amazonian technique, she should be one boob less, though. And
true, but her arms could have got a little bit big. She's a little frail on the biceps.
Honestly, that doesn't bother me. I'm glad that she's in it, and she does look like a really great Wonder Woman. But I don't care. That's the thing that Warner Brothers is really missing for me. Is I don't care. I do not care, and that is sad because we're seeing.
That's not good.
We're seeing Batman and Superman, two monsters of the comic book world, finally in the same movie. And I don't care. So this is a mistake. There's a mistake in here. Aw, thanks, guys. Mr. President says, Naki, you're gonna geeks Wonder Woman. That's all we need. Thank you. Willie, I see that look. Cajun Sean says, Wonder Woman looks awesome. Yeah, she does. She does look awesome, but I still don't care because I know how that's going to play out. We literally have seen all of whatever Wonder Woman's going to be in that movie. They already showed it.
I hope we haven't. I hope there's more of it than what they've shown.
Exactly. I hope that I'm wrong. Low Life Otaku says, I would be excited for Batman vs. Superman, but it's hard to get excited for something that's so dark I can't see anything. There you go. It's right there. Superman should be colorful. Batman should be the dark side. Superman the colorful side.
We're getting an R-rated Superman movie.
Exactly.
Do people not see how wrong that is?
I don't care. So that's enough on that. Let's get it to what I'm into, because we're at the end of the show. We're 6 minutes over as of right now. Oh, we lost Willie.
Yeah, we lost Willie. All right, let's start wrapping it up.
Well, Anthony and I have good discussions too.
That's true.
And in the chat room, Jasmine says, I mean, what do you guys expect? I mean, I'd be glad Wonder Woman looked like Gina Carano. So there's that. But it's me. That's what Jasmine said, not me.
If only Gina Carano could act.
There's that.
She is getting better. I'll give her that. She's getting a lot better. Watch Haywire and then watch Deadpool. She has grown by leaps and bounds as an actress, and she is a beefy chick. She's hot.
All right, Anthony, what are you into this week?
I got 2 more pop showed up. My add-on item that was only $5. Classic monster villain. I got the Mummy.
Nice.
And then I completed my 4-pack of Big Trouble in Little China villains because I have Lopan, and he actually has his little. Movie. He actually has his little tiny pinkies crossed, just like in the movie. It's fucking awesome. And then I am gonna eventually get there's a glow in the dark version of Lopan.
Nice.
So I got that. My package finally arrived the other day, so this morning I've been transferring data. My Galaxy 3 is being replaced by my Galaxy 7.
Nice.
So I have a fun, shiny new brick that's just, all kinds of shiny.
I would recommend getting one of these cases, an OtterBox case, because if you're like me and a klutz, I'm not sponsored by OtterBox by any means, but I have dropped this thing
I've had this for over 2 years. It has no screen protector. It has no case on it. I don't drop phones.
I don't either. I try really hard not to. But I have a dog. I have a German Shepherd who likes to chew on things. I've got, nieces and nephews. I've got too many. There's just too much, and this thing is too expensive. So I always recommend this. That's true. But I always recommend it, especially for the corners. Just because you put down your phone wrong, you could chip a corner. So, but I always recommend it for the higher end phones.
Yeah, I might end up putting one on it, but for right now I'm just going with the case because the body's sturdy. It's an aluminum casing now, so it's a lot sturdier than the old Galaxies. It doesn't have that plastic back on it. It's actually a hardened glass on the back. Nice. I also got Scott Pilgrim Volume 1 finally in my Amazon order, so I get to read that. I got the book The Nerdist Way, so I'm going to read that. And then another big stack of comics, which I'll get to those probably this afternoon. The other big thing was I listened to Jay Moore's podcast all the time, More Stories, and he had Jake the Snake Roberts on, and they talked about the new documentary, The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, where basically it got to the point where that dude was doing an 8-ball of coke a day and pretty much killing himself.
Ooh, that's a lot of coke and expensive.
Yeah, back in the day, Diamond Dallas Page wanted to become a pro wrestler, and he went into the business at 35, which is way, way old to actually start that job. And there was a couple people that actually flat out told him, "You're too old to join professional wrestling." And pretty much Jake the Snake Roberts heard that, and because he didn't like one of the people that told DDP no, he said, "Fuck it, I'll train you." And so Jake the Snake trained DDP. Diamond Dallas Page went on to have, a fairly good career over a short amount of time because he was already kind of old. But then he has since then created DDP Yoga, which he has used to help a lot of people, like, basically get their physicality back and, recuperate from things that nobody thought they would. And pretty much in the student going back and helping the master type storyline, DDP got a hold of Jake the Snake Roberts and pretty much helped him rebuild his life. It is a fantastic documentary. I rated it on my DLM challenge, which I'm now almost 90 movies into. It's one of the only 10 out of 10s I've given for a movie this year. It's fucking fantastic, and by the end of it, I had a little dust in both my eyes. It was fucking great. Anybody that's ever dealt with any type of addiction, has had a family member that's dealt with any type of addiction, or basically just seeing people really fucking struggling, it's worth watching. That guy went through hell and back multiple times.
Oh, we're losing Anthony.
And great fucking movie.
There we go.
Damn it. Go see The Resurrection of Jake the Snake.
There you are. We got you. Willie, now that you're back,
yeah,
what have you been getting into?
Well, I did get another arcade block. There's only one thing really worth mentioning, and I flippin' love this thing. It's a salt and pepper shaker.
Nice.
Nice.
Boom! You go shake, 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 shake.
I hope you don't have salt and pepper in that now.
No, I don't.
Delicious.
Salt. Other than that, I still need to watch Mad Max Fury Road. I got it from Netflix still over there.
Yay! I enjoy that. I enjoy the shit out of that movie. I just showed it to my dad.
I just rewatched Attack the Block, the movie where Finn and Firestorm fight aliens with Ed. I totally forgot the other fucking actor in Attack the Block is the kid who plays Firestorm now. Jax on DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh my god, I got some words about that show now. Have you guys watched the last episode?
I haven't seen any of it.
Well, they're in the 50s?
Yeah.
Jesus, they force a lot of racism stuff in there.
Of course they do. It's the 50s.
I was like, no, it went overly. I was like, oh, this hurts to watch. Like, stop. Just stop.
Ooh, nice.
I thought it was funny.
Sorry, I was paying attention to the chat room. Low Life Otaku's been playing Far Cry Primal, and it says it's very cool. And cursing the masses that have invaded Tatooine to see the fucking flowers. Sorry. I enjoyed that review. Anyways.
Nice.
Far Cry Primal is supposed to be amazing, and I really want to play it. So, anyways, continue. Sorry.
It's a little weird because I just got done playing Far Cry 4, and I don't know if I want to jump into another Far Cry so soon.
So my present to myself might be a PS4, so we'll see. We'll see. I haven't made that final decision yet. But
you know where to find me, Willie D. Nelson.
Join us. Join us.
Y'all can make fun of my lack of skill with a PS4, though. So, anyways.
You will learn.
We'll see. We'll see.
But other than that, I did actually look up, because back in 2008 when I first got my PS3, I tried to have the name Willie Nelson. No spaces or anything. It was already taken. So I finally looked up who the hell has the name Willie Nelson. Apparently, he doesn't play anymore. His trophy level on there, which is like achievements, is only like level 3, which is very easy to do. You play a few games, you're already level 3. And I'm like, just give it to me, damn it.
If somebody has Bakanaki, I'm gonna be really fucking pissed.
That's what I need to do. I need to go in and make one right now. I'll sell it to you.
Willie,
nice.
Don't forget that you're going to be in my city next week.
You can go ahead and make it right now, I'm sure. I think you can do it on the internet, on your computer, I think. I'm not 100% on that.
Anyways, continue. What else are you getting into?
Other than that, going on a plane trip Tuesday morning, and it's only going to be like an hour trip. Thank you, time zones.
You are time traveling.
Nice.
But you finally get to go see my buddy up there. I think he's trying to talk me into going to a strip club, and I don't like strip clubs.
There is not good strip clubs up here.
Really? Well, I don't know about his city. I don't know.
Where you're going, you'd have to go into the city.
I don't know about his town.
No. If you want to go to a decent one, you would have to go into Chicago to get to a decent one.
I don't like strip clubs anyway. I don't want to spend the money to see boobs. I have the internet for that, and I don't have to spend any money other than the internet bill.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
But speaking of bad strip clubs, we do have one near where I live. They changed names, but back in the day when we did go in, it had a sign saying 23 good-looking girls and 1 ugly one. We couldn't tell which one that was because they all kind of looked.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that one. There used to be one, I don't remember where I was living at the time. I just remember seeing it as a kid, and it was called the Beaver Pit, and I didn't pick up what it was until I was older.
That's not a good name.
Let me sink that in for a second. The Beaver Pit.
That's a terrible name for a strip club, though.
Are you saying Beaver's a pit of despair?
I don't know, but it's a terrible name for a strip club.
Yes, it is.
Again, it didn't sink in until I was older, and I was like, ugh. Anyways.
All right, Naki, what have you been getting into?
Beaver Pit?
I've been the Beaver Pit, obviously.
You dunk your whole head in there.
Again, you can see behind me the costumes that I am now rushing to finish. But on Sunday, I'll be dressed up as Punk Rock Elsa, which is all that blue tulle you see right there. It actually lights up.
Nice.
And there's a vest in there and a whole bunch of holy shirts and a corset. And my hair will be in the mohawk. I haven't had the mohawk in 3 years, so I will have the mohawk up. And then on the other side, you'll see Amethyst from Steven Universe, which is way easier and has not taken me.
Hairspray mohawk, or are you actually shaving the sides?
I can't shave the sides.
Shave it.
No, I'm not shaving this. I used to shave the side. So, okay, my hair used to be a giant purple mohawk until I was 22, I want to say. And then I shaved my head completely, and then I let it grow out.
Shave it again.
No. No, I look like an alien baby. It is not a good look for me being bald.
You get used to it.
It is not a good look for me, and plus I'm pretty positive.
Yeah, but the boyfriend might not.
I was gonna say boyfriend will break up with me probably if that's the case. Can't make love to a giant alien baby. I mean, that's just hard to do.
But yeah, I don't think it'll stop many people though.
Oh, I think it will. I
don't think she's dating one of those people that wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's not a good plan. Other than that, I'm prepping to be the moderator of the C2E2 panel that will be on Friday at 2:45 in room S503, the workshop room. We really have no other panels going on at that time, so come and see us. And I've been playing the shit out of Animal Crossing. I will be bringing my DS to C2E2 to get all your homes and all the street passes. You bitches better bring them.
I don't have one, so no.
Do it. Just go get it for this. I mean, it's awesome.
I'm already spending so much money to come up there.
I know. Other than that, I've been playing Undertale. I've not been live streaming because I've been having so much issue with my live stream. So when I come back to live streaming, I will be at a further place in Undertale, hopefully. I've also, because of Steam sale took my wallet, I bought Alien Isolation. So I will be playing that soon.
I need to start playing. I got it too. I haven't played it yet.
Drasman, I'm already a redhead. I don't know if you can tell, but this is red. I will never be a blonde. I don't know if you've all seen the pictures of me being blonde. I look awful. It's not a good plan. I did have black hair at one point. Also, that's closer to my natural color, which you can see in the roots right now. My hair naturally is like a dark brown, almost black. So I just never keep my hair that color because I don't like it. On top of that, I've been amiibo collecting. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I have 2 more amiibos in my collection. I have Celeste and Blathers from Animal Crossing. Because look at how cute they are. They're fucking adorable.
And what do they do for you?
The pops are cute, Naki. The pops are cute.
I have 4
pops.
I have 4 pop figures. I have Handsome Jack. I have oh God, why can't I remember his name? That guy.
The robot?
The robot from
Robot.
No, it's from Yo Gabba Gabba. This was actually a gift to me. I have Kermit the Frog and I have Joker Batman.
You get Howard the Duck like I do.
That was also a gift. And then I also had the Yoshi amiibo. This was Valentine's Day present from boyfriend because I fucking love Yoshi's Woolly World, which you'll see a playthrough go up on my channel soon.
YouTubes?
What?
On the YouTubes?
On the OTubes. Because although that's starting with World 3, I think, because boyfriend and I got into that late. Other than that, I've been talking with Dirk Manning, and we'll be meeting up with him at C2E2, as well as I want to talk about his books, The Tales of Mr. Ree, which are really, really good. If you like horror and you like noir, the 2 of them put together is The Tales of Mr. Ree. It's a comic series. It's indie published. It's super, super good. I will have a more in-depth review of it coming up. But and also we'll be seeing a new thing that's coming up onto this channel soon. So we'll talk about it when it's more ready to go forward. Dressman says I'm advocating for boyfriend to have options if Naki decides to shave her head. I'm not shaving my head. The end.
We'll have to make a bet about something.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Just say, hey, you want to make that bet? And be like, no, I don't want to.
That's true. You have that option.
I will also be wearing a purple wig on Saturday, so you'll see me in the light purple hair. Again, it's not a great color for me.
Where do you put all that hair in a wig?
Into a bun.
Into a skull cap.
I've got a skull cap, and this all goes up into a bun, and then I wear the wig on top. It's actually my first time wearing a wig in years, so I might be sweating. I will be, Cajun Sean, I will be talking about Dirk's comic. Probably not next week, because we will not be here unless Anthony decides to go solo.
No, there will be no show next week.
I still think he should do a solo show all about the comic book stack that is currently growing, I'm sure. But he's saying no. But I still think he should. There will be no show next week. We will probably have some sort of filler episode for the feed, but there will be no live show next week. And then we will be back the week after. And I will talk about Dirk's comic then. Hopefully, as long as I remember, I'll put a little post-it note on my screen. And we'll probably have some talk about Daredevil Season 2, because that'll be out as of this.
And I will have watched the entire thing.
I can't say the same thing for myself.
I can't.
I'm taking Friday off from work. So while you guys are at C2E2, I'll be watching Daredevil.
Anthony is the only one from ATGN not going to be at C2E2, so show him some love. And,
I couldn't even make it to LCTC, which is happening this weekend, which I'm very sad about. Because goddamn Justin Stewart got his live art going again, and they had Justin, Tressa Bowling, fucking
I still have her comic.
Jim Mahfood, Scotty Young, and Jake Parker all doing live art on Friday night at LCTC. I'm very sad I missed it.
Scotty Young lives in Chicago, I believe. Or he's just here all the time. I'm not really sure which one.
He lives in the outskirts in it's Illinois, but he moved out of the town.
Yeah,
or
I think
it's Indiana. But
I want to say
he's around there.
I want to say he's in Skokie because that's where his comic shop is.
Yeah, he used to live in Chicago, but he moved out to get a bigger house because him and the wife, they now have 2 kids and 2 gigantic dogs. There's a fucking St. Martin's.
I love those. All right, guys. So, is there any final parting shots we should say before we end this episode?
Enjoy C2E2.
Boo strip clubs.
Boo strip clubs, indeed. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed my takeover. Chris, we miss you because I don't like doing all this work. Not in my forte. I didn't break the internet this time. Geeks.live breaking was Mr. President's fault. It was not my fault this time. So
we went live. We stayed up the whole time. Nothing broke.
Nothing broke, as far as we know. Yeah.
My internet went out, so.
Well, that's your own. Fault. That's your own goddamn fault. So no. It's your own goddamn fault. My internet stayed up this time. My internet usually doesn't stay up.
It's true.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you watched us live, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening to us on the audio podcast, we stream live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central. What time are you, Anthony?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Anthony's time. We're super early. I'm sorry for some of you. You could catch us on live.atgnpodcast.com, geeks.live, or Alpha Geek Radio Channel 3. You can also call us at some phone number that we have, and it's all in the outro, so I'll just leave it to Chris's voice to do it. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys!
Bye. Naki's back will be broken next time you see her.